Hi guys, it's Sheridan here, and today I have a treat for you guys. I'm going to show you everything I bought for my first horse, Teddy. Now, disclaimer at the start, I can't remember all the prices of this stuff, so as I go I will add a little picture in this blue corner here of the item and what price it was when I bought it. Some of the stuff I bought was secondhand, most of it was brand new, and some of it I got for free as well from friends. So it really depends on what sort of budget you have as to what you get. Work within your means. I wanted to buy most of the stuff brand new, but the more expensive stuff I did get secondhand. So that's just a little disclaimer for this video. So let's get started. I'm going to break this video up into sections so it's easier viewing and easier for me to remember what I've already done. So first section I'll show you guys is all of my stable supplies. So first thing I have for my stable supplies is right below my feet here, and it is a tub truck. It's 60 litres and it's pretty gross on the inside right now because Teddy just had his brekkie. I use it for hay because I don't have a hay net and I don't like feeding by hay nets. I believe in feeding from the ground. And he's got sawdust in his stable, so I don't want him obviously ingesting too much of that. So I put all of my hay in here, and this fits 2 biscuits worth of hay perfectly. Can't remember what price I got it for, so I'll insert it up above like I said before. Next thing I have is a staple for any DIY self-surface adjustment, which is a broom. This is an outdoor quality broom that I got from Bunnings. I again can't remember the price, even though I bought it only 3 days ago, but it's got really hard sturdy bristles like a dandy brush would for a horse, and it's got a metal pole which is nice and sturdy again. All I use it for is just to clean up the backside of my stable and the area around my tack shed and the front of my stable, and that's all it's used for. Next on my list is a staple again, which is a smaller version of the tub truck I just showed you. This one was on sale at Hopkins Saddlery for $10, and it's pretty disgusting right now because I haven't cleaned it since last night when Teddy had his dinner. But it's really sturdy plastic, it's flexible, hasn't gotten any damage in it yet, which is good. So again, like the other one, we'll see how long it lasts before he destroys it because he's a very messy eater. Next, second to last thing, is boots. These are cheap black wellies or gum boots. They are $20 from Big W. I got cheap ones because I didn't want to pay for branded ones. I don't really need them, I just need them for around the stable when I'm mucking out and things like that, when I don't want to wear proper riding boots. They're nice and comfortable. I did get a few blisters from them, but I stupidly decided to wear them on a beach ride for my first time wearing them, so don't do that. But otherwise, they feel really sturdy and they clean up nicely when they don't have dust all over them. Last thing I have is a stable stand. I got this for free from one of the gisters here, who is one of my friends. It's just a Roma saddle stand, which is quite old and is falling apart a bit, but it's all I need for now. And I'm very thankful she gave that to me because they're quite expensive even though they don't look like they should be. So next section I have for you guys is grooming. So I'll start off with the obvious thing to start off with, a grooming kit. This is a Roma grooming kit. It was $40 and it just opens up like this. It has a little detachable tray in the top of it where I keep my sponge that comes with the pack, and I'll end up keeping all of my plaiting stuff too in the near future. It comes with a sweat scraper, a hoof oil jug, a body brush, a dandy brush, which is currently in another object I've got to show you. It comes with some plaiting bands, which is nice, a hoof pick, a mane comb, just a cheap plastic one mind you, and a curry comb. So it's all you need to start up really. You don't need anything fancy, and it all closes up. And I like the hard ones rather than the totes because I think they're just easier to maintain, they're easier to carry, and they look a bit nicer. But again, that's personal preference really. So next thing I have for grooming is this little wash bucket. I've currently got some Equinade protein conditioner for Teddy, which I haven't gotten to use yet because he's not competing or anything. So he's in dirty fat paddock condition at the moment. And I've also got some Equinade Show Silk shampoo. Both of these were $14 as they're the same size, which is 500 milliliters. And they fit nicely into this little bucket, which you can see here, which is from Bunnings, and it was $3. So next section I have for you guys is medical stuff. Now I don't have a lot of it, but I'm starting to slowly build a collection so that I have some sort of first aid kit for Teddy if he were to get like a small cut or something. So first off, what you really can't go without with a horse is some purple spray, which is Certigen, and it's just an aerosol that comes like this, and I can't remember what price it was, but it was around the $30 mark I think from memory, and it's a antibacterial, so just remember that for when I show you my next item, which is Septicide. So Septicide is an antiseptic cream rather than an antibacterial. So it unscrews, and it's a mustard coloured gel which you spread over wounds that are big enough to warrant needing antiseptic. So if you've got sort of an open cut, that's good. I can't remember the price of it, so I'll put it up in the corner. But you can't go without an antiseptic and an antibacterial cream for a first aid kit. Last medical thing I have is some vet wrap. So this is cohesive vet wrap, so it sticks to itself and it makes an awful bloody noise. Not that you can probably hear it over the trains, but I need to get some gauze to put in my first aid kit so that I have something to attach this to in the first place if my horse was to get injured. But it's the start. So next section is the biggest section so far. It is riding stuff. So I'll start off with my saddle because it's currently lying on the floor folded up, which I don't want. So this is my saddle. It is a 17-inch Jessica Trainer's dressage saddle. It has a beautiful large knee roll, which I like in a saddle personally, and it's got a nice deep seat. It was second hand and I paid $700 cash for it, which is really good considering the lady that was selling it was asking $900 originally. It's been fitted to Teddy already. I've had a ride in it and it is wonderful. I grew up learning to ride in the trainer's saddles, so once I got my own horse, of course I was going to buy one. It cost me $132 to get it fitted to Teddy, even though the only modification it needed was a bit of reflocking in the pommel area, which was a bit annoying to find out, but what can you do? Otherwise it fit in perfectly, which was really good. The next thing I have are my stirrup irons, which I got brand new from Horseland. I cannot remember the price of them, but they're just bog standard steel stirrup irons with a white rubber tread, and they're about as basic as you can get apart from safety stirrups. And the last thing I have on my saddle to show you are my stirrup leathers. These are secondhand and they're actually not mine. They're my stable neighbour's that she lent me to ride in until I get my own, or when she asks her husband whether I can keep them, and I'll give her some money for payback for them. But they're just normal leather stirrups, and there's not really much else to say about that. Next thing is my girth, and my girth is secondhand too, from the same lady that lent me the stirrup leathers. I hadn't bought a girth yet because I needed saddle fitted and wanted to make sure it fit him before I did anything. So she was kind enough to lend me this, which is an old collegiate girth, I'm fairly sure. I can't see any branding on it, but I've seen the same sort of thing in Horseland. So it's just got the end with no elastication on it, and I love girths that don't have bare buckles like that. I like them to have the padding behind them. And then we've got the very well used, as you can see, elasticated end as well, and there's really not much else to tell you about it. It fits Teddy fine right now because he's in paddock condition and he's fat, but when he gets into work we'll probably need something a bit shorter. Going on from the saddle, I have my dressage pad. It is a Weather Beater brand, and it has a suede fabric with a hard plastic girth area. It has a spine that is breathable. It has mesh all the way down on this black part, which is really nice, and it's a nice thick dressage pad for like winter, or if you know your horse sweats up a lot, it'll be able to wick away all of that moisture. It is black on the inside, as you can see. It does not have waffle material though, like most dressage pads have. It was fairly expensive as well. It was $100 from Horseland, but the quality is worth it. I'm sure this will last years, so I'm more than happy to pay that if it's good quality. So that dressage pad you just saw, the blue one, comes with these. They are not the same brand, but they are matching colours, which I specifically looked for. These are Saxon brand, and the open front and fetlocks were both $30. They are neoprene lined with a hard outer shell, and they've obviously got the matching blue for the saddle pad on the tabs. So I have not used these yet, obviously, as they're still in the packaging, but once I get Teddy going over some small cross-country jumps, I will definitely use them and we'll see how they go. So next is a knockoff Lemieux dressage pad. It is by a brand called Super Horse Saddlery. It is in the colour watermelon and it has the same sort of mesh design down the spine as the Weather Beater saddle pad had. It has black on the inside and it also has that square waffle material for moisture wicking. It has the D-ring pads, tabs, not pads, sorry, and the girth protection area, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour on Teddy. I can't wait to use the matching bandages that came with it because it actually came in a set. The bandages are right here and they're the same colour, even though on camera it doesn't look like it, and they have white and silver piping all over them, and they come in this little carry bag which is super cute. Can't remember the price of the set, but I'll put it up above. And yeah, I've had it on Teddy once before without bandages and it is brilliant. It looks so good on him and I reckon it's going to last a really long time. Last bit of riding tack I have to show you is, of course, my bridle. Now, my bridle is a stock standard, cheap, off-brand bridle that I got from Hopkins Saddlery. Can't remember the price, I think I got it for $42. But it's a Hanoverian noseband. And the brow band it came with was the same as the noseband. It was white padding, but I got this from somewhere different. I also got the bit from somewhere different. The bridle came with a set of web reins, and that's about it for that. The brow band I got secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. I had a look and I was looking specifically for a curved brow band because that's the style I personally prefer. This was $38 all up with shipping, so it was $30 and then $8 shipping, and it looks absolutely gorgeous on Teddy because he's got a nice refined head. And as for the bit, I got that off Facebook Marketplace too, from a person who is starting up a bit selling business. It is a Mylar bit. I'm not too sure of the exact type, but it is a French link, as you can see, with a lozenge in the middle. It has loose ring cheek pieces, and it basically acts like a mullen mouth for all intents and purposes, apart from it has a tiny bit of rotational movement like this, like a French link would. And it's a really, really comfortable bit for Teddy. He has tried it on once so far and didn't bat an eyelid, but I thought he might freak out at the weird lozenge, but he didn't. He was actually an absolute angel, so I can't wait to use this and see how he goes in more rides. And I got this for, I think it was $30 plus shipping, obviously. So up next I have my floating products, of which there's only one, which would be these guys. These are short tab float boots, so they're not the ones that go over the hocks, they're the short stumpy ones. They are in the colour lavender, grey and blue, and I got these for, God, I can't remember, I think I got them for $54 from Horseland. They were the only ones available at the time that were in the colour I wanted and were in the short variety. so I haven't gotten to use them yet because he's not needed them, but if we go on a road trip I'm sure we will, so I'll get some use out of them at some point, I'm sure. Next segment I have is for my day-to-day turnout, which will start with my fly veil. He has not worn one of these yet because he hasn't needed to, because he's used to having flies around him and everything, and he's used to being out in a paddock. But I'll use this for riding when I ride him out in summer. It was $10 on sale from Hopkins Saddlery, and it just has Velcro closure down the bottom here and an adjustable clip strap at the top. And I haven't put it on him yet, obviously, but it feels like it's half decent material. It was only $10, so I'm not expecting it to be anything spectacular, but we'll see how it goes. Next is my lead rope. It is a nylon two-toned lead rope with a silver standard clip. It is about 2 meters long, which is great. I'd rather a slightly longer lead rope than a shorter lead rope. The only problem I have with this is that obviously the material can rope burn you quite badly, and I've gotten rope burn on my fingers from this rope already. So get a cotton one, a good quality cotton one if you can, but these ones do tend to last a little bit longer just because of the way they're made. I think this was $15 from memory from Hopkins Saddlery. Last but not least for turnout, I have my halter. So this is my halter. It is white with black padding on the inside, which is kind of like a waffly material. It has brass fittings and it does not have a cheek closure. It is a nose closure, which I prefer personally, and it was only $30, believe it or not. For this type of specific halter, I would expect it to be at least like $50, but it was really cheap and it's held up really well so far. Okay, so up next we have lunging equipment. So first off, I don't have a lot of it, and you may not agree with exactly what I've got as lunging equipment, but just bear in mind this is my personal opinion on lunging equipment, so yeah. So the first thing I have is my lunge roller. This is a black deluxe lunge roller which has neoprene on the inside and is material on the outside. It comes with a whole heap of different buckles and surcingles all over it, and it was $90 from Hopkins Saddlery, so it is more expensive than other types of lunge roller you can get, but I'm more than happy to pay that much money if it's good quality. I have not used it yet, however, but I plan to in the next couple of days, as Teddy is being brought back into work now that he's settled down, so we'll see how it goes. Next is my lunge line. It is just a standard silver clip again, and it is a cottony padded material that is two-tone purple and pink. It's a standard 18 meter long lunge rope, and I got it for $18 at Hopkins Saddlery again. I got most of my stuff from Hopkins. I've used it a couple of times and it is brilliant. It saves you from any rope burn if they're being stupid, and there's really not much else to say. It's nice and padded and comfortable. So here is the slightly controversial thing that I've bought for lunging, which is a bungee, and it's not exactly what I thought it would be. In the shop it was marketed as a shambon, which it is not. I've got a shambon previously and it does not look anything like a shambon. It is a lunging bungee is what this is. So it's not what I wanted to purchase, but it does basically the same thing as a shambon. So I'll give it a go, and if Teddy doesn't like it I will stop and I will buy a proper shambon, which is what I wanted in the first place. But it was only $10 from Hopkins Saddlery, so I'm not that mad if it does end up not working perfectly on him. Last but not least for the lunge gear is obviously a lunge whip. So this is my lunge whip. It is just a extremely standard lunge whip. It has a tassel on the end and it has a standard grip. It doesn't have rubber or like nodules over it or anything. It's just plain. And it is bright pink, as you can see, which is nice because they can see it better. And I think it was $15 from memory. I'll put the price up in the corner like I've been doing throughout the video. But I got it from Hopkins Saddlery. Alrighty, so next segment is rugs. So what I have here is my winter rug. It is a Weather Beater brand rug, and it is a 250 gram fill ripstop rug. So it was a bit expensive, it was $200. It is in the size 6'6", and I haven't obviously had a chance to use it yet because it's summer in Australia, but it is very good quality. They had it on display at the horseland I got it from, so I got to feel it in person, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very, very nice, good quality, and I can't wait to use it. Next is my summer or spring rug. It is a Cool Coat mesh rug in the size 6'6" again, for obvious reasons. It was on sale from $80, 50% off to $40, which I purchased it for. But it's a nice light mesh material, and I can't wait to put it on Teddy because I'm sure he'll look super smart in it because it's all nice and white. But I'm not expecting the white to last very long at all. Alright guys, only a couple of things left. We've got my stable organizer. So this is a caddy which I hang up on the inside of my stable tack room door, and it has, as you can see, a heap of compartments up here and down here. It has a lockable mesh one here, and it has 2 cup holders, as you can see, and it just velcros onto your stable door, and it's really, really, really handy to have. I haven't found much to put in it yet. I think I'm going to put my grooming stuff in it so I can just access it straight away rather than taking a whole grooming kit with me, and use the grooming kit specifically for like plaiting or show stuff. So I need to put everything into it, but I can't remember what price this was, but it was a really good price for the size of the product and how much storage it has. And it was from the same place I got the watermelon coloured saddle pad, which is Super Horse Saddlery. Alrighty, on to Pony Club products now, of which I only have one so far, which is my branded t-shirt. I'll have to blur out the name, but it Pony Club colours are gold and brown. So this is just the polo shirt version. We do have jackets and caps and saddle pads and everything, but I haven't bought any of them yet as I'm so new to the club. But this is just a really nice material. It's like a sort of mesh airflow material, and it's nice and cool. It's a bit long, as you can see, but it's really good quality, and it's $30, so can't go wrong with that. Now the last couple of things I have to show you are a bit hard to actually show you, but I'll try my best. What I have here is a 60-litre plastic bin from Bunnings Warehouse. I got this for $17. I've got 2 of them, one of which my camera is actually sitting on right now. They fit 2 bags of feed pellets in them. I've currently got half a bag of pellets in this at the moment, so that's why I'm able to carry it. But it's just a nice cheap way to store your food that's safe from vermin and from droppings. I've got another one which is exactly the same as this. It's just a 75-litre bin which I put my chaff into, and that was $24 I think from memory. These were on sale, the $17 ones. The $24 one was not. So that's them. There's not much else to say about them. Okay, I've got 2 items of stable gear still that I actually forgot. This is my rake. It is hot pink. Oh, lovely, and it's got a nugget of poo still in it. It's just got those little side panels on it, as you can see, which I prefer to the normal just flat ones. The one thing that annoys me about these is the grips are not fixed, so they can slide up and down, which is a bit annoying, and the top one comes completely off, which is extremely irritating. But that was $40, but it's a staple that every horse person needs. Next, in the background here, I have a wheelbarrow caddy. It's currently full of horse poo because I just mucked out Teddy's stable. It has rolly wheels on it, and it's just a bit easier to wheel around the place than a conventional wheelbarrow is, and it fits basically the same amount of stuff in a wheelbarrow as it does this thing. I'm lucky enough to be down the end where the poo pile is, so it's nice and easy for me to just wheel it less than 50 metres away to the poo pile, compared to 250 metres all the way up the laneway. Very easy to handle. You just wheel it like this, it goes on an angle. I'm sure you guys have seen similar things before. That was $24 from Bunnings Warehouse, so it's nice and cheap if you don't want to buy an expensive metal wheelbarrow, and it's basically the exact same size as a wheelbarrow anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video and my walkthrough of everything that you need for your first horse. Obviously it depends on what type of person you are, what your budget is, what your horse is like, what you want to do with him, as to what specifically you get for them. But this is all that I bought, and I hope you enjoyed the journey with me. I ended up spending over $2,000. It's a lot of money, but everything I need is now here, and it will last at least a couple of months if I'm careful. If I maintain it, it'll last years, so I won't have to buy anything again. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!